I am super excited, you guys. Let me tell you, this is our 19th year coming to Chicago, okay? 19 years. The first time I came here, I got a chance to meet some people, and they says, you know what, Gabriel, have you ever been here? Have you ever been to Chicago? Like, no, it's my first time. They said, well, you know, we'd like to take you out to eat if you're down. And I'm like, well, hello. I am very down. They took me to a restaurant called Portillo's. You heard of it? So we get there, and it was very, very good. The hot dogs were delicious. I had a chicken chop salad. It was amazing. Had a beef dip, really, really good. But it wasn't until the meal was almost over that these new friends of mine said, we'd like for you to try something you might not have ever had before. And I'm like, that's not likely. I said, well, what is it you want me to try? And they said, well, they sell a thing here at Portillo's called a chocolate cake shake. I said, you had me at chocolate. They said, well, you got to go up to the special window and you got to order it from the lady. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get up and I walk over to the lady and she's like, can I help you? I say, yes, my friends are telling me that I need to try this thing called a chocolate cake shake. Okay, what size would you like? How good is it? You want a large. All right, can I please have a large chocolate cake shake? No problem. And there I pay. And she turns around. She turns around and she walks over to this little refrigerator that's on the counter. And she opens it up and she pulls out a piece of chocolate cake. And I'm thinking to myself, she must misunderstood what I said. I didn't ask for a piece of chocolate cake. I asked for a chocolate cake shake. She must have heard what I was thinking because she's walking by and she's like, it's gonna happen. She walks over to the blender, she takes the freaking lid off, and she just looks at me and does this. And I was like, no. And she's like, oh yeah. She pours it and she hands me this like 44-ounce chocolate shake, which is way more than anybody should be drinking. The straw was so thick you could almost fit your thumb in it, okay? So I grab the shake and I begin to attempt to drink it. So I'm just, and I can see the shake coming out. And it hit, and then all of a sudden, woo! Hell, you guys even have taco trucks. Now, for anyone wondering about taco trucks, let me just let you know right now. That is real good Mexican food. I don't want you being concerned, like, no, there's wheels under that restaurant. Well, sometimes we don't have a permit, okay? So, but it doesn't mean the food is not good. For me to know that I'm gonna have a good experience at a taco truck, I always research, and I look to see who's running the truck. For me to know that I'm gonna have a good time, I wanna make sure that it's an all-female crew. Not to sound sexist, it's just that when it's all women running the truck, they make me feel good about myself. They make me feel special. When I walk up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I have a buzz, they make me feel good. Hello? They come to the window. Hola, mi gordito, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está ese gordito, chulito, este gordito? ¡Qué bonito! A ver, ojitos, ojitos, ojitos. I feel like a kid. I'm like, can I have a taco? Whatever you want me to get, I'll get it for you. Now see, when it's an all-Mexican male crew running the truck, it's late, they're tired, they're bitter. Customer service isn't our strongest point at 1 o'clock in the morning. And then you gotta deal with a drunk knucklehead like me. Hello? And they come to the window. ¿Qué chingados quieres, pinche gordo? What you want? What you want? Hey, what's up, bro? Can I have a taco? Okay, what else? That's it. That's not even a word. But you know exactly what he just told you. For some reason, Mexican people, and only Mexican people, have this sound that comes out of us that can just discredit anything you put in front of it. It doesn't matter what it is, we can kill it with that sound. I just graduated from college, top of my class. Well, fine, I'll work at Burger King.
Papi, this is my fiance. He loves me.
Fine, I'll be a whore. And speaking of whores, let me tell you where they put us up at. That's a bad segue. No, there's no whores at this hotel. Listen, I would like to personally thank the promoters for not only making this special happen, but for taking really good care of us. They put us at a hotel that's right across the street, you guys. And you know you're in a good hotel when you get inside of the elevator and it talks. It's one of those, you know?
First floor. Second floor. Third floor.
I'm like, man, she sounds hot.
Fourth floor. Fifth floor.
Oh, yeah. Martin asked me, how far are you going up? I said, all the way. I gotta see how this ends, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. And by the way, you guys, since the last time we were here, I've had a few things change in my life. Some things happened that were so crazy that I couldn't even believe that it was a possibility. First thing that happened was I had my first ever celebrity death hoax, meaning that someone faked my death on the internet and it went viral. Someone wrote an amazing article that was read by over 30 million people that was so good, even I was like, oh my God, I was so nice. TMZ reported it for 30 minutes until they called my publicist and confirmed that I was still alive. The article said that I had died October 31st from complications of type 2 diabetes. And in my head, I'm thinking to myself, that's a hell of a day to kill a diabetic. You know what I mean? That's like killing Santa on Christmas Eve. 30 million people read this article. No one thought to call me. Except Martin. That's right. Martin was the only one that called me. And I think that was just to verify that he still had employment. I got that phone call. Hello? Martin was like, hey, you dead? No, man, I'm good. I figured you would have texted me. And I would have, because that's the kind of friend I am, you know? I even asked my son Frankie, I said, Frankie, did you hear I died? That's what they meant. I go, what do you mean that's what they meant? The fact that I got to meet Snoop was awesome. He looked for me. But every now and then I go out and I wanna meet people. I wanna see cool things. And for example, comedy. I'm a huge fan of comedy, not just performing it, but I love going to shows. I go to a comedy show every now and then alone. Now, I don't know if that sounds weird to you guys, but for me to do anything nowadays by myself, it's my crew, all the people that work for me, they freak out when I go places because they're always concerned for my safety. You know, what if someone tries to kidnap you? Well, they're gonna earn it. I got into a fight with some of my team members and I said, you know what, I'm going out. I bought myself a ticket and I went to go watch Chris Rock one night in concert. Now, I says, you know what? Maybe I can make my way backstage and I don't know, if I get lucky, maybe I'll say hi to him. I've always wanted to meet him. So I go to the side of the stage and I run into security and I said, hey. He looked at me and said, Fluffy! And when he did that, I said, hey, listen, I forgot my keys. I'll be right back. And the guy's like, yeah, keep going. Get your keys, get your keys, get your keys. I'm like, oh my God, that shit worked. Just like that, I snuck backstage at a Chris Rock concert. Once I was behind the curtain, I was in my element. I knew where everything was. I knew where the food was. I knew where the dressing rooms were, where the bathrooms were. I'm walking around with a soda. People are coming up to me. You know, we didn't know you were gonna be here. I got a call last minute. Looking for my keys. I says, you know what? I got this far. I'm gonna push it. I wanna meet him. I've always wanted to meet Chris Rock. It was not hard. Once I was back there, I just had to go to the dressing rooms. All I had to do was read the name on the door. I'm standing there in front of the door and I'm hyperventilating, just. The door opens up and there's this man in there, this bodyguard who's just massive. I'm a big guy, but damn, dude was huge. As soon as he opened the door, just. Welcome to Jurassic. Big! Grandote! And I'm standing there and I'm like, hi. And he's like, can I help you? Yes, my name is Gabriel. I'm a comedian, and I wanted to see if I could say hi to Chris Rock, if that's possible. You say you're a comedian? Yes. Well, then you understand Chris is going over his material right now. He really ain't trying to talk to nobody. So I'll tell you what, player, if you want to come by after the show, you're more than welcome to. But right now, it's not a good time. Chris Rock is a busy man. Can I wave? Excuse me? Can I wave? What you mean? Can I wave at Chris? I don't have to come in. Can I wave? Chris Rock is in the room. He can hear the stupid conversation that's taking place. I know this because I can hear Chris Rock in the background. What's going on? Who's at the door? Move out the way. Yo, Chris, I got this, man. I got this. Move! All right. And the guy stands to the side, and now I'm looking at Chris Rock, and he recognized me, and it freaked me out. Oh, yeah, it freaked me out. He's like, ah, shit! Look who it is. Look who it is. It's the king of the Mexicans. Chris Rock called me the king of the Mexicans. For the rest of the show, everyone referred to me as El Chapo. I was celebrating the fact that I got away with that for so long. For so long. I snuck backstage at Chris Rock. I snuck backstage. I snuck. Until karma showed up one day in the form of the most extreme fan I have ever had in 20 years of me being a comedian. I had someone who not only made it backstage, this person paid to get into my dressing room. Okay? Yeah, he didn't pay me, by the way. He didn't pay me. I'm an honest hoe. Okay? I made no money that day, all right? Yeah, if I would have gotten paid, you wouldn't be hearing this story. Here's the thing. I walk into my dressing room from the bathroom. I just finished showering up and I'm in a towel. I walk into the room, come to find out later that this man was a very wealthy businessman in the community, okay? And when I walked into the room, he's wearing a very, very nice suit. So when I saw the suit, I didn't give it a second thought because he looked professional. I thought maybe he was the general manager of the building, one of the concert promoters. He could have been someone's agent. So when I walked in the room, my towel, like, can I help you? He looks at me, and it was the most uncomfortable conversation I have ever had. He looks at me and says, listen. I am not here to waste any of your time. Fluffy, I am prepared to take care of you. I will give you a new Lexus and an allowance that's more than what you make as a comedian. Leave with me. I was never more disgusted and offended at the fact that I was not gay. Because finally, somebody wants to take care of me. Do you know how many people I take care of? No one's ever offered me a Lexus, and they should. I felt horrible saying no to this guy. I still think about it. I still have the number. Houston, I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't know how this is gonna go over, but I'm gonna say it. I would be an amazing gay partner. Guys, I understand. I understand why they do this to our restrooms, why they put sensors in places, because they're trying to save energy. They're trying to save water. I live in California. We need water, okay? We do. But some places need sensors, some places don't. Some places are good at teaching us how to conserve energy and conserve water. Some places are horrible at it. Like the hotel that we're staying at. They have a very basic thing that they do. They have a little cardboard sign that hangs on the towel rack in the bathroom. All it says is, please help save water by reusing your towel. And on the back it has a diagram and it shows you the millions of gallons of water that are saved every year when people reuse their towel. I reuse them at home. I got no problem doing that at the hotel. It's my towel. Some people don't want to reuse their towels. They're like, that towel's dirty. Well, if that towel's dirty, then you suck at showers. Because theoretically, that white towel should be white every single time you use it. But no, people like to roll it up and then go expert mode with it. And now you waste more water trying to get that out. Like I said, some places are good at teaching us how to save energy, save water. Some places are horrible at it. I was at a university not too long ago, very close to here. And this university has a lot of money. So much so that they have their own private police department that's on campus. It's only for the campus. Now that's not a big deal. There's a lot of colleges that have their own on-campus police. The difference is this college, somehow or another, wound up giving the police department Priuses to use for their patrol cars. Now some of you already know the university. Now look, this is not even a joke. My thing is that if you're an officer of the law, it's your job to fight crime. The first thing that people see when you arrive on a scene is your mode of transportation. Your vehicle needs to establish dominance of the situation before you set 1 foot outside. In California, over 65% of California highway patrol officers now drive SUVs. So when you get stopped over there, you feel it. You're intimidated by it. And people jump out on the freeway. Don't kill me! Now, imagine getting stopped by don't let me get stopped by a cop in a Prius with attitude. You know why I stopped you? 'Cause I let you. Imagine the first time they did a DUI stop, the cop probably didn't even get out of the car. He just stayed on the radio. Sir, step out of your vehicle right now. Okay, all right. Is that a Prius? I must be drunk. Sir, walk the line. Okay, all right. Officer, if I gotta go to jail, can you call a real cop car to pick me up? Stop being a smartass, walk the line. Okay, hey, real quick. Hey, charge my phone. That's it, you're going to jail. Ah. I don't know, man. A lot of times. Yes, sir. ¿Qué pasó? I love you too, bro. Give me cake, sugar-free. Thank you. Oh, I gotta be careful. I almost slipped right there. He's like, I'll catch you. Yeah, you'll catch me, and you'll catch me, and you'll catch me. It's like SeaWorld without the water. I gotta start being careful, you guys, because I'm noticing now, after 6 specials, that a lot of my material, a lot of my stories are starting to come back to haunt me. Some of them in good ways, some of them not so good. For example, in 1997, on TV, one time I said, I love chocolate cake. One time. 19 years later, people are still bringing me chocolate cakes. That is crazy. I mean, think about that. 19 years ago, and I'm still getting cake. I've only said it one time. Next thing you know, I talked about how much I love diet sodas. Next thing you know, people started bringing me diet sodas. In the following special, Aloha Fluffy, I started talking about how my son's growing a little bit older and the hormones are kicking in and he needed to use deodorant. Next thing you know, his friends started bringing deodorant and people started bringing deodorant to my shows for me to give to my son. In that same special, Aloha Fluffy, I told a story that went viral called the racist gift basket story. The story itself is about 15 minutes long, okay? I'm gonna give you the 3-minute version of that story so you understand what's going on. Basically, Martin and I are doing a show in Sacramento, California. We're driving from LA to Sacramento. We're passing through a small town called Fresno. As we're passing through Fresno, we reach out to the local promoter who does the shows there. We're good friends with him. And he tells us, you know, because we're trying to have lunch. And he goes, he's busy, but by the way, G. Riley's in town. And we're like, oh, shoot, our friend G. Riley's in town. He's at the hotel. All right, he's at the hotel. We knew exactly where he was at. So I say, Martin, how about we go and visit G? Martin goes, let's stop by. I figured first, let's go pick up some soda, some drinks, so we can surprise him. So we get to the market. As soon as we walk in the door, we see a whole pile of gift baskets. Martin goes, we should get him a gift basket. I said, Martin, G. Riley doesn't like gift baskets, okay? He doesn't like the fancy wine and the fancy cheese and the sausage. He definitely hates crackers. You don't even know why that's so funny. But anyways, I said, how about this, Martin? He doesn't know we're coming. Let's have a little fun with him. How about we make him a racist gift basket? And Martin goes, what's that? I go, you know, Martin, a racist gift basket. A gift basket designed to have fun with whatever race you're trying to mess with. Now, in G's case, he's black. It was easy. Now, I say easy not to be an ass. I say easy because there's so many stereotypes attached to African Americans. So we have this empty gift basket. What did we put in it? Fried chicken, watermelon, Kool-Aid, grape soda, barbecued potato chips, sunflower seeds, an Ebony magazine, a Chris Rock DVD called Bigger and Blacker, Magnum condoms, Newport cigarettes, a rack of ribs, the recipe for cornbread. We put everything but a white girl with a big ass in the basket. We wrapped it up really nice. We put a big bow on it and we took it to the hotel. We had the girl at the front desk deliver it to his room. Martin and I are waiting in the hallway where he can't see us. So she knocks on the door. G. Riley opens the door. She gives him the gift basket. He says thank you, closes the door. Martin and I run over to the door and we start listening to him opening up the gift basket. As he's opening it, he's getting excited. And he is enjoying every single thing he is pulling out of that basket. He is loving this basket until he realizes it's a practical joke. And then he freaks out because he read the greeting card. The greeting card freaked him out because now he thinks that the KKK sent the gift basket. Now some of you are like, why does he think that? Because that's what we wrote. If you're gonna do a practical joke, you go big or you go home is what I'm trying to say. So he freaks out and he tries to run out of the hotel room. As soon as he gets in the hallway, he sees Martin and I laughing and he puts 2 and 2 together. So then he cusses us out, he forgives us, gives us a hug, high five, we go back in his room and then I eat his chicken. What winds up happening is that story goes crazy on Comedy Central. People are giving him a hard time, so they pull it. Next thing you know, I upload it through YouTube. YouTube 10 million views it gets on YouTube. Then they flag it because the word racist is on the title, so it gets pulled off. So then I re-upload it, it gets another 10 million. Then I had people share it. All in all, the video's probably gotten about a little over 100 million views. So here's what happened. Like I said, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, someone's gonna find a way to twist things and make it bad. I've already gotten an email over the fact that I did that joke about that nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs versus my son. Someone already reached out and they're like, oh my God, how devastating for your son. I'm like, he knows. I love him very much. My son is going on 25 years now. He's 24 years old. Frankie is 24 years old. Yeah, thank you for clapping. He's still at the house. I did an interview recently, and someone was asking me questions about my son. They said, you know, Gabriel, you've always mentioned your son in your specials. Can we look forward to a new story coming out? And I said, not really a new story so much as, you know, because my son is doing his own thing now. He's doing his own thing. He's got his own life, and that's awesome. I do, however, still have stories from the past that I never told. And he goes, well, do tell. I said, okay, my favorite story is actually probably the first one. In 2007, when I first got him, some of you know he's technically my stepson, but I've never liked saying stepson. He is my son. Yeah. He is my son or my aftermarket child. No gray area. Anyway, it's 2007, and for some reason, I'm home on Halloween. Now, here's the thing. As a comedian, I have signed up to perform 365 days a year. There is no sacred day for me. I work on Christmas Day. I work on New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, birthdays, holidays, special occasions, no matter what. My mom told me, si hay trabajo, hay que trabajar. You got to work. Especially if you got a good job, you don't want no one to take it. So if you're going to go for it, give it everything. So the fact that I'm not working on Halloween is super rare. And so my son's mom is like, she's like, I think this is so cool that you're home today. You know, since this is Frankie's first year where it's just the three of us, how about this? How about tonight, you take him trick-or-treating and I'll stay home and give out candy. This way, it'll give the two of you an opportunity to get to know each other, have some conversations, have some laughs. What do you think? I said, baby, you know what? That's a great idea. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm on it. Frankie, come on. We're going trick-or-treating. What about my mom? She's going to stay home. Yay. So we get in the car. And I take Frankie to that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That neighborhood that gives out the Costco candies? Yeah. So we park the car and we start going up the street. And I'm not wearing a costume. I'm there for him. So he's dressed up for your Halloween. I'm just me. So some of the doors we knocked on, the people freaked out. One guy was like, the Fluffy. I'm like, oh my God, I've never been referred to as the Fluffy. I didn't know what to say. It is I. One door we knocked on, they opened the door, they're like, oh my God, you're famous. I was like, ah. We go all the way up, we cross the street, we come all the way back. By the time we get to the car, the bucket is overflowing with candy. Okay? So we get back to the house, and it hasn't even been an hour. We walk in, and Frankie's mom is pissed. She's like, the hell is this? I go, what? I thought I told you to take him trick-or-treating. I go, I did. Look, show the score. The whole point of you taking him trick-or-treating wasn't to get candy. The hell you say? What was the point? The point was for the two of you to spend time together, have some laughs, have some conversations, get to know one another. You're not going to do that in an hour. Can you please, for me, take them out one more time? for at least an hour. Baby, I get it. Don't even worry about it. I got it. So I said, Frankie, come on. Dump out your bucket.
Round 2.
So we go outside. We get in the car. I don't want to go door to door again. So I said, I got an idea. I take Frankie to Walmart. We get to Walmart, and Frankie goes, what are we doing here? I got it, watch. We walk in. I said, grab a cart. Follow me. And I lead Frankie all the way to the candy section. Well, as soon as we get to the candy section, I stop the cart. And I got in Frankie's face, and I said, Frankie, you have exactly 30 seconds to grab as much candy as you can. Ready? Go! And he froze. I said, dude, clock's ticking. You better move. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. So he grabs a bag, looks at it, throws it in the cart. Grabs a second bag, looks at it, throws it in the cart. Grabs a third bag, and on the third bag, time! And it was the first time I heard him go, shit! Because he knew he wasted that golden opportunity those first few seconds. So we get to the car, I rip open the 3 bags, I dump them out in his bucket, and I tell him, look, Frankie, when we get home, you cannot tell your mom that we went to Walmart. Why not? Because she's going to say that we cheated trick-or-treating. But it's better. I know it's better. So we get home, and of course now it's a different tone. She's like, there you are. Did you guys have a good time? We had a great time, baby. We had a good time, huh, Frankie? That's good. Frankie, give me your candy. Why, Mom? Because I need to go through your candy to make sure it's safe for you to eat. Why wouldn't it be safe? It all came from... Cállate, pendejo. Cállate. Cállate, cabrón. Cállate. He almost took down the empire, you know what I'm saying? So he hands over the bucket, and she grabs it and immediately dumps it out on the table right in front of us. She notices, you know. There's a lot of the same candy right here. A lot of the same candy. Can you explain why there's so much of the same candy in Frankie's bucket? I don't know what to tell you, baby. There's a lot of basic bitches in this neighborhood, you know, just kind of, I don't know. We can't go back to that other neighborhood because they got cameras and they're going to know us, and we don't want to be that person. Nobody wants to be that. So fast forward 1 year. It is now October 31st of 2008, and for some reason, I'm not booked on Halloween again. And so my girl's like, she swears up and down, oh, it's a sign. It's a sign. I'm like, it's a sign my agent is slacking. Shout out, Matt. I know you're here. Sorry about that joke. You're doing a great job. Thank you for this one. I know, but that year you dropped the ball. So, but anyway. And so Frankie's mom is like, I think that, you know what? Maybe, just maybe we can make this like a tradition. You know, this could be your guys' thing. The two of you go out trick-or-treating, and then I'll stay home and give out candy. This could be your thing. I go, you know what, baby? Sounds good to me. Frankie, come on, we're going trick-or-treating. What about my mom? She's going to stay home again. Yay. So we get outside, we get in the car. I lean over and I look at Frankie and I said, Frankie, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Walmart. We pull up to Walmart. We walk in. I said, Frankie, grab a cart. Follow me. And I lead him all the way to the candy section. As soon as we get to the candy section, I stop the cart and I get in his face. I said, Frankie, you have exactly 30 seconds to grab as much candy as you can. Ready? Go! Apparently, this motherfucker was training all year for this. As soon as I said, go, his arm, bam, and he starts gutting the shelf. He's ripping bags of candy. So during 2020, my dogs and I, the most normal thing we could do was just take a drive. Okay, drives, you could just get in the car. Nothing was open, but you could take a drive. And so we get in the car, and I put on this playlist and just drive. Eventually, we went out looking for food. And I know that sounds crazy to say it that way, but remember, 85% of the underlying conditions. I never once set foot in a market because I was afraid. All of my food came from friends and street vendors. Yeah. Yes, I support street vendors in case anyone's wondering. Because no matter what, they're working their asses off, again, trying to make a better life for themselves and for their families. After leaving a taco stand one night, I realized that a lot of people needed to step out of their comfort zones in order to find alternative ways of making ends meet. I made the mistake one night of assuming the guy working the stand was Mexican. He wasn't. I even spoke Spanish to him, which is a no-no. The rule is, when engaging a brown person, you must speak English to them first, and then if there's a language barrier, then you go to Plan B high school Spanish. You start off in English. Hello, sir, may I? ¿Qué? No entiendo. ¿Qué pasó? Oh, hold on, I got this. Hola. Yummy. So I walked up to this guy at the stand, and I was like, he reminded me of a tío, so I was like, hey, ¿qué onda, compa? ¿Cómo estás? And which is like, hello, friend, how are you? And he responded, what are you saying to me? I'm sorry, sir, I thought you were Mexican. No, I am not a Mexican. I am not a Mexican. I am Greek. Greek? Shit, I was way off. I'm sorry, bro. It's late. I'm tired. Can I have 2 tacos? What do you mean, can I have 2 tacos? I just finished telling you, I am not a Mexican. I am Greek. I do not sell taco. I sell gyro. Gyro? And then I remember seeing writing on the front of the cart, and I just thought it was like the guy's name or something, right? I was like, it spells it out. G-Y-R-O. Gyro. He got all pissy. It is not a gyro. It is gyro. That shit says gyro. It is gyro. Bro, I'm tired. It's late. What is a gyro? It's like a taco. Give me 2. The first time I came here, I got a chance to meet some people, and they says, you know what, Gabriel, have you ever been here? Have you ever been to Chicago? Like, no, it's my first time. They said, well, we'd like to take you out to eat if you're down. And I'm like, well, hello. I am very down. They took me to a restaurant called Portillo's. You heard of it? So we get there, and it was very, very good. The hot dogs were delicious. I had a chicken chop salad. It was amazing. Had a beef dip, really, really good. But it wasn't until the meal was almost over that these new friends of mine said, we'd like for you to try something you might not have ever had before. And I'm like, that's not likely. I said, well, what is it you want me to try? And they said, well, they sell a thing here at Portillo's called a chocolate cake shake. I said, you had me at chocolate. They said, well, you got to go up to the special window and you got to order it from the lady. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get up and I walk over to the lady, and she's like, can I help you? I say, yes, my friends are telling me that I need to try this thing called a chocolate cake shake. Okay, what size would you like? How good is it? You want a large. All right. Can I please have a large chocolate cake shake? No problem. There, I pay. And she turns around. She turns around and she walks over to this little refrigerator that's on the counter. And she opens it up and she pulls out a piece of chocolate cake. And I'm thinking to myself, she must misunderstood what I said. I didn't ask for a piece of chocolate cake. I asked for a chocolate cake shake. She must have heard what I was thinking, because she's walking by and she's like, it's gonna happen. She walks over to the blender, she takes the freaking lid off, and she just looks at me and does this. And I was like, no. And she's like, oh yeah. She pours it and she hands me this like 44-ounce chocolate shake, which is way more than anybody should be drinking. The straw was so thick you could almost fit your thumb in it, okay? So I grabbed the shake and I begin to attempt to drink it. So I'm just, and I can see the shake coming out. And it hit, and then all of a sudden, woo! Oh, and by the way, thank you to whoever brought the chocolate cakes in the back. I got them right before the show. Thank you very much. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Somebody brought Chico's tacos too. I thought that was great. Now, you guys here know what I'm talking about, but everybody that's watching at home, they're like, Chico's tacos, oh, what the hell's that? It's an El Paso tradition. If you come to El Paso, just know that that's right here. That's the tradition in El Paso. I ran into people in other places like Chicago and New York. I'm like, where are you from? El Paso. And I say, Chico's tacos. And they're like, oh. Like, wow, yeah, that's hardcore. It is the craziest food I've ever tried, you guys. Craziest ever. Reason is, they give you these little taquitos and there's like a sauce and you pour it and like the taquitos float and then it absorbs. And I never thought I'd see the day where I could drink a taco. Yeah. And you gotta have that at the end of the night. Don't try to freaking plan out events after going, They'll say, oh, we're going to eat at Chico's and then go to the movies. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You'll be sitting there like, hey, this is a good movie, huh? This is the one where Nicolas Cage comes out and... Anyway, he plays the bad guy in this movie and it turns out really good. Then all of a sudden... You're running by people. They're like... Chicos. El Paso tradition. You know what's funny? Is that a year from now, there'll be people watching this all over the world. Just like the first DVDs in Canada, Australia, and Europe, this DVD will wind up somewhere in Australia. And there'll be people in Australia going, what the hell's Chicos? Crocky, we gotta go. We gotta see Chicos. You watch, man. People freaking out. I say, we must go try Chico's. It sounds splendid. Yes, it does. Drink a taco. I never thought I'd see the day. I'm going to try it. El Paso it is. me into the doctor's office. I sit down, doctor walks in, and we spoke for an hour. In a nutshell, what he says is that he wants to take my stomach, which in his opinion is the size of an NFL football, and he wants to cut it and make it the size of a hard-boiled egg. Therefore, you only eat this much and you lose weight with time. Problem with gastric bypass is that if you don't stick to their program religiously, not only will you not lose weight, you will gain weight and you'll have a series of complications. And then he asked, do you travel a lot? I'm like, I'm on the road 46 weeks out of the year. He goes, this is not gonna work for you. I'm like, I agree, I like 2 eggs. I said, well, what should I do? He goes, I don't know, but this isn't gonna work. So I left the office. I was bummed out, you guys. I get in my car. I was so depressed because I'm like, someone told me I got 2 years to live. Surgery is my last hope. And so I started crying. I was sad. I was in the car. I'm crying. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? And the only thing that could cheer me up was a drive-thru. And I know that sounds crazy. Some of you are like, isn't that what got you in that position to begin with? Yes, but it's the only thing that made sense. There's a reason why it's called comfort food. Think about that. Anytime you see someone eating a burger, they never look sad. They always look happy. You might look sad walking in, you might look sad walking out, but when the actual event of eating a burger is happening, life couldn't be better. That's right. My girl told me that I make sounds when I eat burgers. I didn't know. Apparently I do. I'm eating a burger and I'm like, She was like, are you eating that or are you eating that? Think about it. Who's sad when they're eating fast food? I'll tell you who's sad. The person eating a salad watching someone eat fast food. That's who's sad. So I pull up to this fast food restaurant with a big M on it. And the guy in the speaker's like, may I help you? And I'm crying. I'm like, you have no idea. What I eventually wound up doing, you guys, is I started low carbing. Now, I am not eating healthy by no means, okay? I still eat fast food every single day. And people question it. How do you eat fast food and lose 100 pounds? I'll give you an example. I'll go to a burger place and I'll order a double cheeseburger. I won't eat the bread, I won't eat the onions, the tomato, the ketchup. I'll eat the meat, the cheese, the mayo, the mustard, and I'll order up to 3 with like 3 diet sodas. And people go, that's unhealthy. The cholesterol's gonna kill you. I agree. But guess what? Cholesterol's gonna take 10 years to kill me. Diabetes is gonna do it in 2. Right now, I'm winning by 8. Hell yeah, that's called fluffy math, bro. There's a lot of people mad in here right now. Fluffy found a loophole, yes. So I started low carbing, I started doing yoga, and I know that sounds like a joke right there. Yeah, some of you are like, he means yogurt. No, yoga. Freaking DDP helped me, and then I started lifting weights, and it's kind of hard for me, you guys, because now I have people at my shows telling me, we're noticing there's a little difference. You're a little less fluffy. What's gonna happen if you keep losing weight? What are we gonna call you? What are we gonna call you? I lift weights. Call me Buffy. I don't care. The point is that I'm not trying to lose weight for vanity's sake. I'm very secure. The point is that I'm trying to lose weight so I can be around for my family, so I can be around for my friends, and so I can be around for you. You guys even have taco trucks. Now, for anyone wondering about taco trucks, let me just let you know right now. That is real good Mexican food. I don't want you being concerned, like, no, there's wheels under that restaurant. Well, sometimes we don't have a permit, okay? So, but it doesn't mean the food is not good. For me to know that I'm gonna have a good experience at a taco truck, I always research, I look to see who's running the truck. For me to know that I'm gonna have a good time, I wanna make sure that it's an all-female crew. Not to sound sexist, it's just that when it's all women running the truck, they make me feel good about myself. They make me feel special. When I walk up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I have a buzz, they make me feel good. Hello? They come to the window. Hola, mi gordito, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está ese gordito, chulito, este gordito? ¡Qué bonito! A ver, ojitos. I feel like a kid. I'm like, can I have a taco? Whatever you want me to get, I'll get it for you. Now see, when it's an all Mexican male crew running the truck, it's late, they're tired, they're bitter. Customer service isn't our strongest point at 1 o'clock in the morning. And then you gotta deal with a drunk knucklehead like me. Hello? And they come to the window. ¿Qué chingados quieres, pinche gordo? What you want? What you want? Hey, what's up, bro? Can I have a taco? Okay, what else? That's it. That's not even a word. But you know exactly what he just told you. For some reason, Mexican people and only Mexican people have this sound that comes out of us that can just discredit anything you put in front of it. It doesn't matter what it is. We can kill it with that sound. I just graduated from college, top of my class. Well, fine, I'll work at Burger King.
Papi, this is my fiance. He loves me.
when I was. And I left. Center.